My foreground color is red, and I'm going to do Option Delete. See how it filled in everything, but you still see the white around the helmet, right? And you should have a similar look to it. A full background, but some of your, whatever the object is, the white is blocking out the background, correct? Yeah? Over here, are we correct? Is it working for you? Jill?
Can you do the background again?
Jill, take your left hand, raise it. Let's see what you got going. It looked like it was going pretty well when I walked by. Okay, there's that. I put up on the screen for them to see. You got a lot of white things too, so we're not even bothered trying to do that. Okay? So, you have your 10-foot by 3-foot banner? Okay. Let's go back over to guitar player. Select all. Copy. Paste. Now, how do you come in that color? Oh, okay, yeah. Now copy. Draw out that layer. Now, just paste it. And now what I would do is, do you know how much of him you want on the screen? Because once you shrink him down, those pixels go away. But you can always go back and get them for one bigger layer. Just like that, against the bottom for now. This is just for you to work on your own banners and get the hang of this, okay? So that's, you're going to have a guitar player down there. And some color, we don't know what color it's going to be yet. That helps catch you up. You took the original photo, made it grayscale, then totally black and white. Then you copied them, put them over here in his own layer. And the layer is not the channel. Now, create a new layer. Put it behind, underneath layer 1. Call it EKG. And pick a color for your background. Pick it off the chip here. Just pick any color you want. Okay. Now, you're in background. Select all. And then Option Delete. Okay, now, this will become transparent once you get in the channels. So we've all got the stuff we need right now to create a background. We're going to try and get. I'm not sure how you did it. Probably transparent there. It worked.
Okay.
I'll follow the steps anyway.
And will this be on Blackboard? Recorded?
Yeah. All right. So step number 1, 104, is I want to have those helmets. First, I need to size them. This is a 300 DPI. I know I can bring this up to twice the size if I need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the helmet K, shift click, helmet fill, Command T. What it's going to do is size both objects on 2 different layers at the same time, the same amount. So I grab this and just pull it bigger. Let's say that's how big I want it. Good. In fact, I know I still got a few extra pixels if I need them to make this bigger, but we're just going to stick that right there. I'm going to go over here for a second and look at my banner. Okay, see how much bigger that is right there? That's my sketch. So what I'm going to do is Command D, first switch back. Which one was I working on? Sorry, I forgot which one I was working on. banner demo 2. I want it bigger. I want it about a third of the way up. Command T. Bigger. Goes to about there. And you should do basically the same thing. Look at your sketches. Okay, that's where I'm going to put it for now. I'm going to double click to lock it in. I've got the black fill and I've got the helmet in black and white. Now, the problem is I have white and I don't want white. So what we're all going to do is take, and we're going to take both these if we can. First one, I'll start with the helmet black. Select all. Same thing we did the other day. Copy. We're going to make a channel. Channel is our stencil, our screen. So we make a new channel. And I'm going to paste in place. Image, paste special, paste in place. So there's the black and white helmet. Command D to deselect. And then I'm going to go back, I'm going to grab the solid black helmet. So I go to banner demo 2, good. I go to RGB, go to layers, and I want to copy this layer. Select all, command copy, new channel, and again paste in place. That's where paste in place is going to save you so much time and save you from blowing up drawing away by mistake. Paste in place. That's exactly where this one is. Now let's not forget, when we're doing channels, we show more than one channel at once, we can show them in different colors. So I'm going to, this should be black, alpha 2. This is the helmet. I'm going to call it helmet black. That's fine. Oh, that should be helmet gold. My bad. And the one over here, this is helmet black. All right, so far so good. You got your stuff into the channels where they belong. Save. And then once again, we're going to go back into RGB. Go to layers. And now I want to turn off these two layers. Okay? What you're seeing underneath is the channel being shown right now. Do you understand that? So if I go back to my channels and I turn the visibility off on both of those, all I have is a red banner. That makes sense? If I want to see these, I have to turn them on. And they're just representations. They aren't real ink. Yeah.
You have like, it's like RGB, red, green, and blue, just like plain screens. My like ballerina shoe is on all of them.
Yeah, so
Me too.
What's it doing?
Yeah, I'll show you. Only R3 is coming up on
You're not getting F4 over there?
mine. No.
Here.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
It took a second.
So you've got shapes on all your layers.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to into layers, RGB, and then into layers. Make sure you're on RGB first. You're still, I think, in the channel. So go back to channels.
Okay.
Click RGB, good. Now, click in layers. Now we're working in the layers. Turn off the visibility on whatever you pasted into the other thing there. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So the RGB is actually the screen, what it's going to portray.
Oh,
So that's showing you, because you had them turned on, it's showing you that that leg was being displayed. As soon as you turn it off, it goes away. And now the only legs you've got are those two right there.
okay.
All right. So everybody close to this now? Georgia?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mine still has the image burned into it.
Okay, let's go look at yours. Okay, now go to RGB, click on the RGB channel. All right, now go to layers and turn off any visible layer except the red. Good. Now that you've got it, Command D, because you still have a selection going on there. Good, so now you got a red background. Now go back into channels and just turn one or two on right now. Not those, but the ones you added to the alpha channels. Okay, there's there and there.
Right, cool.
Yours are just showing white instead of black, that's
Yeah.
all. Everybody okay now? Okay, so what we're going to do is,
Not, I'm actually very, very far behind because my computer has been having issues.
okay, where are you?
I'm trying to start over. Well,
I tell you what, starting over, it's an hour and 15 minutes. So, show me where you are.
I actually have like a name to go through very, very soon. So
Let's see what he's got.
okay, so I'm trying to set this up again.
Oh, that is very far back.
Trying to set this up again.
I'd recommend you follow along when I post this recording.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's really far back.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just,
Yeah, just next time, just let me know as soon as you start to have problems.
yeah. I'm sorry. It's just like.
It's okay.
Also, my laptop has been having a lot of issues right now. I mean, like for example, like
Oh, I don't need to, that's fine.
the menu bar is gone. So.
Menu bar is gone is bad. We'll look at it during the break. Okay, so we've got this. The only ink that we're looking at is the red background. We're also looking at the white here, but we can't see it because it's covered by the other one. It will come into play. So let's go back into channels. I know that this guy wants to be black. I know that this guy right here, he wants to be gold. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, remember, the color is represented first. So I double click, and I come over here. I don't make it spot color yet. I just pick a gold. That's pretty close to the gold I want. Okay. Okay, now you see I got the gold there. But again, it's not in ink yet. It's a gold screen. It's a gold stencil. It's going to go there. And if I turn on the helmet black, I have to get this underneath it. You see how it's going to look with the black and white helmet with the holes cut through it, because white in a channel is transparent. And I made sure everything was either black or white. So I can see through that. I can see the gold underneath it. And don't forget, when you're dealing with channels, they stack in the opposite order we expect. The one lowest is on the top of the pile, unlike layers. Okay, so now I've got an idea of what I want to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blow a hole through the red so I can print the gold. Turn off helmet black for a moment. This channel, if I activate it, come down to the little circle, you activate it. There's my selection. So far, so good? Now the problem is I can't blow a hole in the red because I don't have a red channel yet. So it's really easy. You just add a new channel. We're going to deselect that for a moment. We're going to select all. And we're just going to fill it with black. Again, it's a solid color. There's no dot to it at all. So we just need to fill it with black. Command delete will fill it with black. And this represents the red background. Be with you in just a second. Okay.
I can activate my gold layer.
Put it up there. While she's doing that, my background is supposed to be that red. So I'm just going to double click on it. I'm going to change the color. Can't get it from there. Okay, we'll find another red. Wants to be that way. That's pretty close to the one I want. You should be working with the colors that you really want, not pretty close to. But that's pretty close to my red. Okay. It's going to display that black as red when more than one channel's on. Yeah.
I can't fill
You can't what?
it.
Can't apply power.
Like when I fill it to black, it won't.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second then. Okay, yours right here.
So when I go to activate it, it just gives me a circle with the line.
Okay, make sure you Command D, make sure you deselected everything. Now try it again. No, not that one, the one next to it.
This one?
That one, I drag it to the circle next to it.
Oh, this one.
That one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that has, you selected all the gold right there.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody got that? You selected all the gold as it sits on the red background. And we don't want the two colors of ink laying one on top of each other. We want to knock out a hole in the black or the red, leave room for the gold. So if you were to just right now, you need to create the background color like I just did. Turn off RGB. You only want to be working in channels here. Create a new layer. You have to represent everything as channels and nothing as layers at this step. Create a new layer, new channel, sorry. Select all. Fill it with black. It's your foreground color, so it's Option Delete. Okay, call that EKG. All right, and now since that's the bottom layer, we have to put it to the top of the stack. Now double click on this and give it a color close to the red you want. Okay, now turn this one on, ballerina shoe and gold. Now you got the red background.
Okay.
And then this is the black and white ballerina. So we got that.
Yeah.
You can see what it's going to look like. So the next step, once we see what it's going to look like, the next step is we want to take and cut holes, blow holes through any solid color that another solid color is sitting on top of. So in my case, it's the gold helmet, red background. I want to get rid of any red ink where the gold ink is supposed to go. So all we have to do is take helmet gold, drag it. This is your activation area. Activate it. So your stuff looks like mine now, right? Go ahead.
It won't turn the background into black. It says that there's an error.
It tells me that all the time, and it's always wrong until I figure out it's right. Program. Now, this is
That was the new one. That we have the command delete to make the background
color is your big background?
What's that?
So you want them to be red still, right?
Yeah.
So select all. The error might be the fact that you can't cut a hole or something. And then I go to, in your case, Command, delete. And delete and make sure nothing else is selected. Let's try to do. Never used paint bucket. Try it. See if I can find it. You know where the paint bucket is?
The paint bucket
Yeah.
is like, hold on.
Is it on Photoshop?
It's where the gradient tool is.
Okay, gradient tool.
If you
There we go. Thank you. Using the paint bucket, which I never use.
Mm-hmm.
Not letting you, something that's stopping you from getting to that channel. New channel. Close the document and try reopening it.
Totally, John.
Okay, I went back to steps because it's
Looking good.
okay, can I activate this, right?
The alpha channel?
Yeah.
Not yet. You first have to create another channel for red. Right now you've only got a layer for red. Yeah. Now select all. Fill it with that red. So pick the red.
With red or black?
Sorry, black. Okay. Now what you want to do is double click on this. And now make that the red you like.
What red I used.
Right there. Okay. Now turn on alpha 1. And now this is the background, so that's the there you go. That's what it's going to look like. We haven't done anything yet with the red channel. You guys okay over here? Does yours work yet?
I just opened it.
Yeah, but the same thing's happening to me, and I don't know why it just started working, but I like Command Z to finish, and then kind of just started working.
Oh wait, hold
There you go. Now double click on the color chip and make it the right background color. So it displays that way. Again, it's going to be black, but we're going to display the black as red.
I just want to say right now, I gotta get going
Okay.
right now.
I know.
Yep.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
with your interview.
Thank you for recording.
Alrighty, let's keep our fingers crossed and it shows up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for recording.
Okay. Alrighty, so I want to get rid of everything in the red where the gold ink is going to go. I pulled down the helmet gold, activated that area. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of deleting, I'm just going to fill the gold area on the background. Make sure you're filling the background. So I click background. I then turn off the helmet gold, just so I'm not confused. That way I know I can't put it on the wrong layer. White's my foreground color, option delete. And you see how it filled in with white? If I deselect, and then I can turn on my helmet, you can see the gold's going to fill in where the white is. And that's what we want. We don't want the yellow on top of the red ink, because it will most likely turn kind of a brownish orange in its overprint stage. So now we get pure color against this white fabric. The background is a red. The fabric is white right now. Everybody got this part? Okay, what's wrong?
I don't think I can do that part because I don't have that black behind
Put it up there. I think you can. So what color do you have? I have red for mine. What color is yours? Your background pink. Red, right? Okay, that's it right there. Here's your alphabet dress right there. Okay, now, what you want to do is you want to punch a hole through the background, right? Just touch it. Oops, no, don't do that. Okay, I didn't look through too that. Turn on this. We're going to work on the BKG there. Okay, so all the work's going to happen. Take the dress and just drag it down and make a selection of it. Going way over to the left. There you go. Okay, so turn off. See the dress turned on? Turn background back on again. Turn off the eyeball undress. Now, I use Command H to get rid of the marquise. It's still there, I just don't want to look at it. Just do Command H for hide. Now, your background color is white. You're in this. You got a selection down here. So just fill the selection with the white. The easiest way is Command Delete. That uses your background color, and there you go. That is now what your red is going to look like. You punch the hole through it, and now here's the gold ink on top of that. Does that make sense? Good. Save it. Now, for me, and for a couple of you, you've got a color to go behind or on top of the gold area. So I'm going to turn this back on again, the helmet gold. That's what the banner is going to look like. But I really want it to look like this, right? And so I have to do the same thing. Any place there's black, I want to make sure that I activate this to cut out of, not the red, but to cut out of the gold, because there's nothing. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to turn the red back on even though it's not going to be involved. Here's the gold. That's where I'm going to cut chunks out of so that the black doesn't sit on top of the gold. I select that. Turn it back on again. And this is the helmet black. These black areas are the ones I want to cut out of the gold now. We've already cut the gold out of the red, so it's white behind there. We just need to make sure we work on this layer, the gold layer. Gold channel, sorry, I always do that. Click, hold, and drag it to the activation button there, and you get this. You can't do this one on yours. Okay, so I've got that. And what that shows me is those are all the places I'm going to cut out gold. So I'm going to do Command H to hide the Photoshop extras. I'm in the gold layer, but I've got those areas selected, and those areas I want to fill with black. Okay, I'm sorry, I want to fill with white. We want to change them from black to white. So, Command, since white is my background, Command Delete. And you see how I've punched holes through all the gold? Okay. And then if I go over here and I turn the helmet black on, that's what it's going to look like. Does making sense? Now I'm looking, do you see a color change from here to here?
Yeah.
I do. That means my background somewhere in one of these channels isn't completely white. So I'm going to go to turn off my background, check first the helmet black. And if I look, you can see it's black is 1% there. It's easy to fix. How do we fix it?
Level.
Yeah, Command L would make sense, but it doesn't. Let's go to our magic wand tool. Select. Shift select back behind his neck here. And then I just want to fill it with pure white. Option delete. What's the matter, Beth?
Nothing.
Pardon?
She just was sharing her screen. I just wanted to let her know.
So now I got rid of that. I'm just going to go to the helmet gold and do the same thing. There. Fill it with pure white. Option delete. Command deselect. And now our red background should be consistent all the way down. So that little bit of gray, that 1% gray, was enough to throw off all the color. So now you can do that how I did it. You can go back into the layers and make it perfect into layers. You can go back to the original Photoshop piece, the original photograph, make it perfectly white there. But we need everything to be perfectly white and perfectly black. And that's essentially how you're going to be doing your work. What I want you to do starting now is start putting together in layers. Don't worry about channels. In layers, put together how you want your banner to look. The last thing I probably should do is come over here, and then I'm using my typeface now. Select all. Want to use the right typeface. I think it begins with a K. Okay, it's in yellow. That's all right, because I'm in the helmet fill layer. What I want to do is Command Z, make sure I'm in layers. I was in the right place. And it should give me my own layer for the text. We'll try it one more time. Turn these off. Okay. Channels are off. Turn off the channels. Back to layers. Now that is strange. You know how it's always supposed to give us a new layer with text? It's not doing it for me. So I'm going to give it its own layer. Layer 1. Try it one more time. Okay, now it wants to do it. Command T. My machine's now having a stroke over here. Command T. I'm on the right layer. Now it feels like behaving. That's about where I want it. But what I'm going to do, it's red. I want to change it all to black. I can do that here, or I can do it in channels. Select all. Okay. And you know, I said the other day we should take this, make a copy of it, turn this one off and preserve the other one. Select all, copy. Now I'm going back to my channels, new channel, paste in place. There it is. And it's black right now, but because I want 100% of whatever it is, it's actually white. So I'm going to go over here and display it as white, and it's never going to become an ink. But when I have other things on, oops, we'll see it displayed as white. All right, and also what I'm going to end up doing is pulling that down, activating it, and punching Shogun right through the red background. What I want you to do is get started on your first object. and start laying this thing in layers to start with. And then we'll switch it over to channels. It will come easy once you start doing it, okay? I know it's a hell of a lot of stuff just to try and memorize. You can't. But as we do it and repeat it, it's going to become actually make a whole lot of sense and become easy. Alrighty? Good. I'm going to kill the recording now. Ugh. I'm going to try to kill the recording now. There we go.